Hello, my name is Timothy Lampley, and this video, as selected for the Kirkpatrick Signature Series Component 2 Phase 3 assignment requirements, will present my thesis, example scenario, and 5-point attribute discussion of the exalted Equalitarian Society. The concept of and concern for equality has been an integral part of the human experience. In contemporary thought, there are two positional poles in regards to the definition of an equal society, and it helps us to use the analogy of a race to explain them. One end would assert that an equal society is one in which all peoples, citizens or otherwise, should arrive at the same destination of economic, educational, and social well-being. In other words, they believe that everyone should cross the finish line of success. The other pole states that such a society provides all with the opportunity to run the race, however, the outcome of which is determined by a person's personal choices. Here, everyone should have a genuine chance to succeed. However, this is in no way guaranteed. My position is a balance between the two. Providing a means to race is important. With this, true freedom and responsibility for one's choices is paramount. However, continuing with the race analogy, the capability to choose a different path or to ensure that those who have access to power are not allowed to handicap another's pursuit of happiness is a significant counterbalance. Although, tragically, there are several examples in American history with which to choose from, one of the most contemporary manifestations of segregation is the civil rights struggles of Black Americans. Long after the Emancipation Proclamation, Blacks continued to suffer terrible prejudice and marginalization of their rights. One of the main sources of their opposition was the Dixiecrats, those Southern Democrats that suppressed their civil liberties. With that in mind, I'll offer comment on what I found to be the attributes of a truly equalitarian society. The first attribute of an equal society is one which is opposed to exploitation, degradation, and oppression. Malcolm X shed some light on this with the following quote, "But it does mean we're anti-exploitation, we're anti-degradation, we're anti-oppression, and if the white man doesn't want us to be an anti-him, let him stop oppressing and exploiting and degrading us." Unquote. This is to say, in order for a society to be equal, it must have a pathway where all people are free to pursue happiness. The second aspect is one that does not deprive its citizens of economic, residential, or educational opportunity. This is my reasoning for a balanced position. Those forces that would seek to impede any demographic from their opportunity to pursue happiness must be checked. The third property is one that does not discriminate, whether positively or negatively, the equal state of opportunity based upon race or other subjective motivations. This is to say, to be truly equal, the existence of both prejudice and affirmative action must be altogether removed. This quote is a court opinion in regards to a university's use of affirmative action practices for student enrollment. Quote, "The use of race, in and of itself, to choose students simply achieves a student body that looks different. Such a criterion is no more rational on its own terms than would be choices based upon the physical size or blood type of applicants. Thus, the Supreme Court has long held that governmental actors cannot justify their decisions solely because of race." Unquote. Fourth, this society must be one that does not limit the inalienable rights of its citizens to those contained in its foundation document or documents. For example, some human rights declarations, such as the one authored by the United Nations, attempt to be an all-inclusive document of rights. But what happens in those cases where a particular liberty is not documented? Such as humans are, it is certain, there are some who will look for loopholes to exploit. However, according to Amendment 9 of the United States Constitution, we see the following mechanism to ensure equality. Quote, "The enumeration in the Constitution of certain rights shall not be construed to deny or disparage others retained by the people." Unquote. Lastly, we come to the fifth property of an equal society, It is a society that actively nurtures and protects its social and community components. This is done by its affirming the intrinsic nature and value of religion. President James Madison writes, quote, "We have no government armed with power capable of contending with human passions, unbridled by morality and religion. Our Constitution was made only for a moral and religious people. It is wholly inadequate to the government of any other." Unquote. The President recognized the need and value of religion to shape and cultivate the moral actions of society. It is with these overarching concepts that we can see the height of the Equalitarian society. Hopefully, one day we'll get there. This is Timothy Lampley with my Component 2 Phase 3 assignment of the Kirkpatrick Signature Series. Thank you.